Hello, and welcome to a thrilling roller coaster ride. No, not really, it's about government contract clauses, but trust me, understanding these clauses is far more exhilarating than plummeting down a drop at 60 miles per hour. Because if you don't, you might find yourself in a contractual freefall. We're talking about the nitty-gritty, the fine print, the legal jargon that could make your eyes glaze over faster than a plate of lukewarm gravy. But don't worry, we're here to break it down for you, clause by mind-numbing clause, so you can navigate the wonderful world of government contracts with confidence. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this video is your one-stop shop for all things contract clauses. So buckle up, grab a large coffee, you'll need it, and let's dive in. The changes clause, the contractual equivalent of your significant other saying, let's just wing it when you're already halfway to a meticulously planned vacation. It allows the government to make changes to the contract because, well, government stuff rarely goes exactly according to plan. Now, before you start picturing Uncle Sam showing up at your office demanding you swap out all your office chairs for beanbag chairs, although wouldn't that be something, remember this. The changes clause has rules. There's a process for submitting, reviewing, and approving changes, and you, my friend, need to know it like the back of your hand. Let's talk termination. No, not like in that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, although understanding this clause could help you avoid a contractual apocalypse. This clause outlines the specific conditions under which the government can terminate the contract. And trust me, they're not just going to do it because they're having a bad hair day. We're talking breach of contract, poor performance, or maybe the government project went kaput faster than a cheap lawn chair at a barbecue. But fear not, brave contractor. This clause also outlines the procedures they need to follow, giving you a chance to plead your case or at least pack your things in an orderly fashion. Let's be honest, you're not in this for charity, right? You want to get paid. That's where the payment clause comes in, outlining the do's and don'ts of getting that sweet, sweet government money. We're talking invoicing schedules, payment methods, and any conditions you need to meet to get your hands on those funds. Think of it like this. Imagine ordering a pizza, but instead of just paying the delivery guy, you had to fill out 17 forms, submit them in triplicate, and then wait for a government official to give the final thumbs up. Okay, maybe it's not like that, but you get the idea. Know the rules, get the dough. Chapter 4, the indemnification clause, your legal shield. Or is it? Imagine this. You're a contractor building a bridge for the government. Suddenly, a rogue pack of raccoons high on fermented berries decides to take up residence in your cement mixer, leading to a structural mishap of epic proportions. Who's responsible? Well, that's where the indemnification clause comes in. It outlines the contractor's responsibility to protect the government from any losses, damages, or liabilities arising from the contract. Basically, it's a contractual get-out-of-jail-free card for the government, but one that you need to scrutinize with the precision of a brain surgeon. Chapter 5. The Compliance Clause, Uncle Sam's Rulebook. The government loves rules more than a cat loves knocking things off shelves, and the Compliance Clause is essentially a giant neon sign flashing, "Follow the rules." This clause requires contractors to comply with all applicable laws, regulations, and standards. No exceptions. We're talking everything from labor laws to environmental regulations to safety standards. And let me tell you, the consequences of non-compliance, not pretty. Think hefty fines, legal battles, and maybe even a one-way ticket to a government blacklist. So for the love of all that is holy, just follow the rules. Chapter 6, the Disputes Clause, avoiding contractual carnage. Disagreements happen. It's like that awkward moment when you and your partner both reach for the last slice of pizza. Except in government contracting, that last slice of pizza could be worth millions. That's where the Disputes Clause swoops in like a diplomatic superhero to save the day. This clause outlines the procedures for resolving disputes, whether it's through negotiation, mediation, or if things get really heated, litigation. It's your roadmap to a peaceful resolution because nobody wants to settle a contract dispute in gladiatorial combat. Chapter 7, the Performance Clause, delivering the goods on time and in one piece. This isn't your grandma's you tried your best award ceremony. The Performance Clause is all about deliverables, deadlines, and exceeding expectations. Think of it as the government's very specific wish list for your contract. It outlines the performance standards and metrics you need to meet, leaving no room for ambiguity. We're talking specific deliverables, deadlines that would make even the most efficient person sweat, and quality requirements that would make a drill sergeant proud. Chapter 8. The confidentiality clause, loose lip sync contracts. Government contracts often involve information so secret, so confidential, it makes the recipe for Coca-Cola look like a children's book. The confidentiality clause is there to protect that information with the ferocity of a mama bear guarding her cubs. This clause outlines what information is considered confidential and the consequences of unauthorized disclosure. We're talking hefty fines, legal action, and maybe even a visit from some very serious-looking people in dark suits. So if you see something, say something to your lawyer. Chapter 9. The flow-down clause. Passing the buck responsibly. Think of the flow-down clause as the contractual equivalent of a chain letter, but instead of promising good luck, it's passing down obligations and requirements to subcontractors. This clause ensures that certain obligations, like those pesky compliance requirements, trickle down from the prime contractor to all the subcontractors involved. It's all about maintaining consistency because nothing says contractual chaos like a bunch of subcontractors singing from different hymn sheets. Chapter 10. The audit clause, keeping it 100% accurate. Remember that dream where you're back in school, naked, and taking a test you haven't studied for? The audit clause is kind of like that, except instead of a failing grade, you're facing potential financial penalties. This clause gives the government the right to audit your records and financial statements to ensure you're playing by the rules and using their money responsibly. It's like having your books checked by a very meticulous accountant with a penchant for red tape. Chapter 11. The force majeure clause, acts of God, and other unforeseen disasters. Sometimes life throws you a curveball. A global pandemic, a meteor strike, a zombie apocalypse, you know, the usual stuff. That's where the force majeure clause comes in, like a contractual safety net for the truly unexpected. This clause addresses unforeseen events. Think natural disasters, pandemics, or acts of war that may prevent either party from fulfilling their contractual obligations. It's basically a get-out-of-jail-free card for extraordinary circumstances. But don't think you can use it for a simple case of the Mondays. Chapter 12. The Warranties and Representations Clause. Promises. In the world of government contracting, your word is your bond, and that bond is legally binding. The Warranties and Representations Clause outlines any promises you're making about the goods or services you're providing. Think of it as a legally binding guarantee that your product or service isn't going to spontaneously combust or transform into a flock of pigeons. It's all about accountability and making sure you deliver what you promised. Chapter 13. The subcontracting clause. Sharing is caring and requires approval. So you need to bring in some help. We've all been there. The subcontracting clause outlines the rules of the game when it comes to bringing in reinforcements. This clause specifies the conditions under which you can subcontract work out to other companies, and most importantly, whether you need the government's blessing to do so. Because in the world of government contracting, even sharing is caring requires paperwork. Chapter 14. The governing law clause, location, legally speaking. Imagine a world where contract disputes were settled by a kangaroo court held in a bouncy house. Thankfully, the governing law clause exists to prevent such legal chaos. This clause specifies which jurisdiction's laws will govern the contract and any disputes that may arise. It's like setting the GPS for your contract, ensuring everyone knows which legal system is calling the shots. You made it! Now go forth and contract wisely. Congratulations! You've made it through the labyrinth of government contract clauses. You've stared into the abyss of legal jargon and emerged victorious, armed with the knowledge to navigate even the most complex contract. Understanding these common clauses is essential for any contractor working with the government. By familiarizing yourself with these terms, you can avoid costly mistakes, navigate potential pitfalls, and ensure a successful partnership with Uncle Sam. So go forth, brave contractors, and conquer the world of government contracting, armed with the knowledge to make informed decisions and build a better future, one contract at a time. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more thrilling adventures in the world of government contracting.